and welcome to Let's Talk, the special design edition. In this edition, we take you through the creative journeys of architects, fashion designers, content creators and entrepreneurs. So, let's talk. Today we have with us Jeetinder Sandhu, who is a fabulous designer and an entrepreneur. Welcome, Jeetinder.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, I know you because of your design school where you're an alumni, Instituto Marangoni.
Yes.
But how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Colorful, vibrant, and very adventurous.
I can see the vibrant.
Yes.
So, but how would your mother describe you?
Yeah, so my mom would describe me as crazy. And I mean, for her to see and experience things that I do, it's very alien-like, because from where she comes from Punjab, and she's seen very sort of a conservative life around her, and she's not seen and she's not used to this colorful, vibrant prints and over-the-top outfits and shoes, especially on guys. I mean,
guys,
it's very new for her.
Very new thing.
So she just, every time I wear something crazy, she says, like, "That's crazy. What are you gonna like? Why are you gonna go out like this?" So Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what moms are for.
To tone us down a little bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably to just set you right. Let's talk about humble beginnings. We all start from this one small step. Did you know from the beginning that you wanted to be a designer?
Yes. So for me, I think from as far as back I can remember, I was always very creative and into paintings and sketches. So my parents were really sort of supportive of that. So they were like, try and paint as much as you can, do sketches, and they really supported me like that, So I grew up with that environment around me. Also, my mom had like a handicrafts business, and so I was surrounded by these beautiful objects all around me in the house and in the shop. So I grew up with that feeling of art, tradition, Indian tradition more importantly, and Indian techniques of different art forms. So yes, from the very early age, it was
right. And then you decided to formally take education.
Yes, so for me, I obviously was going to be design for me at the end, right? So I had narrowed it down to interior designing or product designing or fashion designing.
Okay.
I think when I hit my teens, I sort of started learning a little more about fashion and seeing shows, reading magazines like Vogue and Cosmopolitan and Elle. So I think that really helped me make a decision and pursue fashion, because it was a gut feeling that got me and said that I should pursue this.
Right. So what did you dream of being when you were a kid?
I always wanted to travel, actually. I wanted a job where I could like
become
travel.
A pilot and fly?
Maybe not a pilot, but like I used to watch these TV shows, these travel TV shows that, would have these people just travel the world, have amazing food and see beautiful sceneries and cultures all around the world.
Right.
So that was like a job I really wanted from the very early age. And I think I am in a way living that life now also, because in the line of work I get to travel extensively a lot, internationally and also in India. So I think one of my checklists.
Checked.
Yes.
So, what has been your most prized accomplishment to date?
For me, I think as a designer, my first show, it really sort of made me realize that I've in a way arrived at a point where I always wanted to be.
Tell me one story out of it that you vividly remember, some backstage drama or some gossip.
Well, I'm a very organized person, so for me to actually experience dramas and things like that is actually not really the case. I'm quite sort of sorted out, and
but like last minute fuck ups happen all the time.
Yeah, so I guess we did have some issues procuring some accessories and things like that. So I had sourced some jewelry from India, which had some issues arriving to London because of obviously export taxes and things like that. So last minute we had to make a lot of changes in terms of accessorizing the outfits for the guys for the show.
How do you deal with that pressure? Like, are you good with deadlines and pressures, or you just like everything to be
like again, so I'm very sorted. So I'm always very like prepared for. I have a plan A, I have a plan B, and I also have a plan C.
What has been your biggest hurdle in life till now?
I think while growing up, I mean, especially since because I was traveling from different places. I've lived in many parts of India,
Okay.
so I think I just never had a good support system apart from my family. I never really had a lot of friends,
Right.
and that's very important as a social factor. It's quite important to
To have those close knit set of
yes,
friends.
and I never really had that till very recently, and I really struggled with that. And also, if you're and as a kid, if you're new in a new city, in a new school,
Yeah.
it's very hard adjusting sometimes.
Beginning from the beginning all the time.
It is, and I was bullied a lot in high school.
What is your favorite calming technique?
I do meditate a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
What type?
So I actually started off with yoga, and in yoga you can also meditate and do different types of asanas. So I have a teacher who comes to my place, and I do twice a week. Yeah, so
It does help
meditation.
you calm
it really sort of calms
Grounds.
me down, and it sort of makes me sane a little bit.
What has been your inspiration in your new collection or throughout your journey?
So I think I'll start from the beginning of my career.
Right.
So I started off with menswear clothing, and for me, in terms of clothing and other clothing designer for men, I always wanted to mix India and put it into a Western silhouette with Western ideas, Western design aesthetics. So yeah, I was mixing these two ideas together. And then after that, I got into shoes, and with shoes, I tried to take inspiration from almost anything. It could be a mood, it could be a visual from an artist, it could be even a movie or a color. It can come from anywhere.
Where do you feel is the best place for people in your industry to get started and find work?
So as a new and upcoming designer in the industry, in India especially, I feel you need to connect with established designers, be a little more comfortable and confident in approaching them.
Right.
I feel a lot of times these young kids, they don't really have the confidence to just drop in a message to a designer and say, hi, I absolutely love your work, can we meet up? I really look up to you, and I would love to have just a chat with you and see and hear your story. That's almost unheard of in this industry, at least here I've noticed. I can give you one example. I mean, for me, when I had just gotten into the design industry, I would message designers who were my competitors, who I would look up to, who I got inspiration from, and they were just super sweet. They would get back to you, and if they were traveling, maybe if they were in India or if I was in their country, I would just drop in the message to them and say, let's catch up over a coffee, I love your work. And they would be so nice. They would, like, you know, show me around the city and show me their work and how they operate and things like that. So you can really pick up on a lot of skills, I feel, you know. And
but just like connecting with the right kind of people.
yes, so
also
connecting with the
matters.
right kind of people is very important.
What has success allowed you to do? What are the opportunities that you received because of the success?
So I think being part of Graduate Fashion Week, from where I started my journey, I think it was the best opportunity I could have got for a debut. It got me visibility on trend websites, amongst industry professionals, really famous people in the industry and designers, and they noticed my work. And for a person who's like just stepping into the industry and has literally no experience apart from that show, and then having rave reviews about that collection, it really means a lot. So for a new designer, it's like, oh wow, you know,
that was your work.
I have made an entrance. So for me, that show I think was like the starting point of my journey, and one thing led to another. It connected me to bloggers, it connected me to stylists, it got me featured in magazines. And so you have to just constantly be on your toes. Don't say no to opportunities of working with new people, different creative people as well, like people from movie industry or singers. Just take the opportunity to work with them, because you learn so much from what they are going through.
Yeah.
So
it's good to pick up on things.
It is very important. You have to be open to ideas.
What do you love about being you?
I think my confidence to just do anything.
Yeah.
I don't hesitate to just do what I want to do.
So what's the best part of your job and what you do?
I would have to say the freedom I have to just experiment, innovate, work with people, work with new materials, unconventional materials.
Yeah,
so
I really like the way, I mean, I'm wearing these shoes which are like super cool, and I like the way you fuse traditional skills into a contemporary form.
Yes.
And what's that one thing you cannot live without?
I think this would be a funny one. I guess my phone.
I think that's with all of us.
I am constantly on on my social media. I'm on Instagram, on my Facebook. I can't live without it.
So we're soon heading to a de-addiction center from there. I will now move on to the next segment that I like to call If Not This, Then That. It's a game show and my own version of rapid fire. I'm going to ask you a set of questions and you have to quickly answer them.
Perfect.
You good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with, if you were not working, then what would you like to be doing instead?
Traveling the world.
If you were not doing what you're doing today, what career would you like to do or pursue?
I would maybe try be an interior designer.
Interior design?
Yes.
If you could be anyone other than yourself, who would you like to be?
I think I would have to say Gianni Versace. I really love his story of how he started from a very humble beginning of family and working with them, and then just building this empire and just living a fabulously luxurious life.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I could swap lives and live his one, I would.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you didn't know how old you actually are, then what age would you say you are?
50. Yes. No, honestly, because I just feel like I actually do feel like I'm a little quite mature for my age. I'm only 26, but I'm so sorted and so organized. Even my dad sometimes is like, "Are you okay? Like you should just chill out a little bit." So I think I would have to say 50. Yes.
You're an old soul.
Yes.
If you were not currently living in India, then where would you like
London.
to be? Because you studied there and you have your friends there. Nice. If you were not a human, what would you like to be?
A dog.
Fifth guy, like fifth person on the show?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, like a couple of people, all of them want to be dogs.
I mean, why not? I mean, a dog's life is the best. Even especially if you have a very good
loved
owner, right? Fabulous life. You get to chill and eat all day and sleep. You need nothing else.
Yeah, I would see it that way. If you were not living in this time period, then what time period would you be living in?
Maybe the 1500s, I guess.
Why the 15th century?
I don't know. I mean, the art, the culture, the people seemed more sane.
It's intriguing.
Yes, and interesting, I guess.
Wow, you were great at this round. You just knew all your answers. And we are not giving out any hampers.
Unfortunately, no.
So let's talk about the future and what's next. What are some personal and professional goals that you want to achieve in the coming years?
So I really want to get into women's shoes. That's been a long time sort of thing for me that I've been trying to get into. So yes, doing women's shoes, doing women's wear.
So what's that one new thing you would like to try and learn?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to learn Italian as a language, and because since I'm into menswear design, I think it comes from Italy and it's originated. It's like the main hub, right? It's the main capital of menswear fashion. So I would love to pick up on that language skill and just be fluent in it.
Nice. What would you do differently if you knew that no one is judging you?
Honestly, I don't give a damn about that.
You can use the word.
Okay. Dude, honestly, I just don't care about that. I mean, even now, I mean, there are a lot of things that I could think of that people would sort of judge me and say things about me, but I don't really care about that.
So it's great, like, to just ignore and then keep
Yes.
doing what you
Ignore
want to
it, just move forward from it. I get positive
Feedback
feedback
also,
and
yeah.
criticism. Yes, it's very important and one should listen to it. But there are a lot of people who are just going to say stuff just to bring you down. And I just think it's better to just hear it in one ear, just leave from the other one and just move on.
Perfect. I saw a very fun pair of shoes. Sanika, can you get me the shoes? I want you to explain the process of, you know, basically the ideation and
Yeah.
the whole process behind designing that pair of shoes.
So the story behind this particular pair was that I was actually planning on traveling for a summer to Europe, and I needed like a cool pair for myself. So I was just trying to get some inspiration. I did some research. Obviously, gladiator sandals are a very summer staple, basically. So the whole idea for this particular pair came from that. And I was going to be near like the ocean, and so nautical theme came into play. And these are actually nautical ropes that I have sort of incorporated in this design. So it was like a mixture of gladiator sandals, which are usually leather, but in this sort of you know, unconventional material in a way. And this was the outcome. It's very simple. It's super light. It's waterproof. You can go in the sand with it. You can go on the beach. You can go in the water.
And it wraps up and gives you
And
the...
you can wear them in many ways. There's just not one particular way of wearing them. So you can wrap it in the front or in the back. It's very versatile.
That's cool.
And it's unisex.
What would your dream project be?
I think my dream project would be to work with a brand like Gucci or Versace, come on as a collaborator on board with them and just do like a mini collection with them, maybe, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, that someone you would love to collaborate and work with.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Again, I said, I love to collaborate with designers, be it sort of new and upcoming designers or even established ones. I just love to sort of throw ideas and get, you know, feedback and new ideas back from other people as well, because
but it's always an exchange of
it's like a conversation, you know. You have, say, one idea that you both decide to work on a collection with, and you have one vision of that collection, right, as a designer.
Right.
But that same vision could be very different to the collaborator you're working with.
Right.
And then you realize, oh wow, that's something I had not even thought of.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's this fusion of ideas, something new, something innovative. And
so what does future look like? Like, where do you want the brand to go now? Because you're internationally placed, you're doing all of it. Where else do you have?
Exactly. So, I mean, I am quite internationally based at the moment. Now it's just all about building better relationships with independent stores, sort of having stores to have customers go and pick up products from, because at the moment it's made on order and we ship worldwide.
Right.
But it would be nice to have a relationship with sort of independent designer stores in Berlin,
retail chains,
in Milan. Yes, retail chains. Yes, that would be the next
brilliant
idea. Yeah,
I think that's on the horizon.
It is on the horizon. Yes.
So as the show is called Let's Talk, who is that one person you would like to have this Let's Talk session with?
Oh, there are so many designers. Oh my god, I would love
you have to pick one.
Okay, I would have to say the current designer for Balenciaga. I just absolutely love what he's been doing with the brand, the direction he's taking it in, and just how he operates. I think he's just doing an absolutely amazing job. I would love to have a sit down with him and just eat his brains out. I'm just, what's happening inside that?
Brilliant. Thanks, Jeetinder. It's been wonderful chatting with you. I would like to leave you with my signature question.
Yeah.
What is that one topic or one subject you think people should be talking about more?
I think it would have to be how we can make the next generation of designers better in India, because I think we're really struggling with the current lot.
Yeah.
You know, the education system is not there yet.
Yeah.
The students are not so driven and are not so sort of.
I think it's also because the mentors are not that.
I wouldn't blame it on the mentors. I think it's a mix of a lot of factors actually. It's how we are as an industry today. Right. The education system, of course, comes into play in this, and I just feel like the new students and like the new fresh lot of designers coming in, they have a very distorted and warped vision of what the industry really is. It's not all glamour and it's not all like, you know, fancy stuff. There's a lot of, you know, hard work behind all of this. And
I like the fact that institutes like Instituto Marangoni have their set courses, and they have their, I mean, they take inspiration. They have, even though they're based in India now, the Bombay Center is fairly new, but the ethos still are from the 1935 setup Marangoni, and they stick to it. So I think that should kind of
I mean, at the heart of it, Marangoni is still Italian, be it being them in Miami or in Dubai or in
all their centers,
wherever they are based
so I think
now.
That is what could, like, defining or having that brand identity and sticking to it is something that, you know, the Indian design sensibility should move towards now. I think I'll leave our viewers with that thought, and I know you belong to Delhi, and whenever you are in Bombay next for your meetings, the A has been gracious enough to give you this access card. You can access this beautiful property. They have a spa, they have pods, they have a bistro where you can have your breakfast and dinners, and a speakeasy bar. So next time, whenever you're there, you can have a complete day of chilling.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for joining us. The show is being powered by Instituto Marangoni, who always believes in supporting talent. I would like to thank DA, the beautifully designed location where I'm a member. I would also like to thank Indifolio for co-curating this show with me.